We were not given eyes, ears, and a mind so we could stay blind, deaf, and ignorant. You don't like what you see? But this is exactly why we must look at it. It's that time again. Submarine Studios presents Rage Across the Internet, your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. To my left, producer Joey.
Hey, guys.
Across from me, we got Tommy Dixon.
What's up, guys?
And to the right, the guy who would get an introduction, but he's been a bit sassy lately.
He hasn't earned one yet.
He hasn't earned one yet. So how we doing today?
We're doing great.
Wait. So,
Okay.
we're in like...
It's Daniel Tyson, everybody. Yay!
Yay!
Oh, even better, thanks. So we're on like what? This is episode, 52?
Ish. We'll go with an ish on that.
52, 53, somewhere around there, and now I'm not getting an introduction?
Well,
It took a whole year. Good job.
Alright. Hey, guys. Welcome.
go on.
That's all I got.
Don't
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm leaving that blank space.
Thank
That uncomfortable silence.
Yep. It's just the right amount. It's good.
Yep.
Well, I hope that blank space adds to this fucking curse.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
He had to say it.
Well, we have to call attention to the curse.
Yeah. You
Otherwise,
need to
it's-
acknowledge the curse.
Otherwise, it's really, really cursed.
Right?
It's just right now. It's just
It's like
a
a
little
turbo
curse.
curse.
Or else the recording will not make it to you guys. So
Yeah, right?
you wouldn't even know.
If you're hearing this, we have done the proper amount of curse acknowledgement.
All right, I think we've said it too much. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're ruining it.
Yes. So Danny is in the studio with us as well. Full house. What up, Uncle Jesse? So here we are.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Like 4 people got that joke.
I think more than that.
Oh, I think more than that.
I think more than
Maybe
that.
7.
I'm young and I know that show.
I think half our audience is a little pissed right now that I made the joke at all.
And you're not sorry.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
But right now it sounds like a Full House reference. Fuck you, Porter. Just fuck you, Porter. Get it out of your systems, guys. It's fine.
Okay. So, the topic for today.
Yes, we do have our...
tribal episode.
Yep. Do we just start with that? And then power load the back of the episode?
Phrasing?
Whoa.
We have
Power
some
load the
business to
back.
take care of.
Yeah, that's... oh. That one I am sorry for.
I think we should hit the business.
That's what I'm saying. You
One
know?
that I don't recommend fast forwarding through.
No, I
Yeah.
probably
Because
wouldn't.
we have some business.
Yes. So, I mean, you guys know the drill as usual. The store, we're still closed. We'll worry about that in the future. You guys know about our Amazon portal. That's great. You know about our drive-through portal. That's going to be really useful in your future also. Mm-hmm. But
We'll get to that later.
that'll be for the future, but don't forget that exists. We got something neat later. Not now, later. But, I bring up our Patreon because we got to bring up the Patreon. Mm-hmm. We have to. Help keep the lights on, helps keep us going, which is great. We love that support. But, for you first-tier donors, everything's business as usual. We still got the monthly hangouts. Still have a good time, watch some movies, being jerks. It's good. Our second tier, though, our $10 tier. Now, we've been doing these postmortems. We've mentioned these postmortems for a while. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing.
Now that we're into it.
Yeah. In February, we put the conclusion of the first Chronicle. And that was fun. But it's March times now. And March is the beginning of the postmortems on the guilty.
Yeah, we've mentioned the guilty umpteen amount of times in our previous episodes. But now we're getting into the meat of it. And holy shit.
We're so excited. We've already recorded 2 of them. And oh my God, are we so excited for the next however many it is. I can't remember how many chapters
Oh, it's a 9-chapter.
It's a 9-chapter one, so boy.
We entertained just recording postmortems today.
Yeah.
We had so much fun
Yes.
doing the first 2. And so we're bringing this up because this was a big chronicle for us, for all of us, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, I think it was my finest work. There was a lot of really great moments for you guys. A lot.
Character growth. Yeah.
Personal experience playing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, let's not forget, and we've brought it up enough, this was the chronicle that its ending got drastically changed.
Drastically.
Like 3 chapters cut due to the actions of one man
I received an emergency phone call
during the game.
mid-game.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is before she joined us.
So it's...
That's saying something.
Yes.
I did a thing that he had to stop game.
And figure out a solution.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about all of that. Not today, but through those postmortems. And so we wanted to make sure we took a second to talk about this and to express that this is what's going on. That if you are a March Patreon, if you join up in March, you can get on the ground floor with that. Because it's not something, especially with the length of the Chronicle, that you can't show up 3 months from now and get that first one.
Right.
No, if you start late, you're going to miss a lot of stuff.
A lot.
Yeah.
So we ain't telling you what to do, but we want to make sure you're aware of what's going down.
Right.
So if
Give
you
you
were,
the option.
Yep, if you were thinking about joining the Patreon and giving some support, now's a good time to do it. If you were thinking about, I got an extra $5, I'm already a patron, I got an extra $5 a month, maybe now's the time. I know we
Pull the
certainly would
trigger.
love for you to hear about this.
Yeah, we're super excited about it, and all the feedback we're already getting on the first ones is great.
Oh yeah, those first
Oh,
4,
yeah.
those
Those
went
first-
down
yeah.
very well.
Yeah, gives us the opportunity to do the guilty and to relive these.
Yeah.
It's just,
Oh, it's so fun.
yeah. it's nuts. I think you forget some of this stuff.
And these were like 2 years ago, and as we look back at it now with much more knowledge, we really see Porter's writing and
Yeah.
how it tied everything, and like we didn't realize it because of how new we were. And
Yeah.
it's just it's really really good.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. It's what we missed in retrospect.
Yeah, and I mean, like there were plenty of elements there that tie in later that, I mean, you couldn't have known at the time.
Right.
Right.
And we're talking about these now, and you're like, oh shit, that's where that started.
Yeah, that happens a lot. We're already 2 stories into it, and that happened a lot already.
We're so excited to record the next 7.
Oh, I know.
But we just wanted to give that warning to you guys.
And actually, that'll be a 10-parter because we're going to do the thing
Oh right.
for Chapter
Oh,
8.
there's a bonus in there.
Yeah, there's a
guys.
bonus in that.
So that will be a 10-parter. And that bonus is going to be extremely exciting.
I
can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to record.
So
But that's
there's your warning, guys.
yeah. There's your warning. That's the business we wanted to cover.
I mean, yeah, yes, we have all of the business, but you know what? Hopefully, if you've been listening this long, that you know that business already. We don't gotta keep saying it. It's unfortunate we have to keep saying it, but it's there.
Go
But
back
the
to the
Patreon-
last episode. Re-listen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take that.
And hey, once you get the Patreon, make sure you get on your Discord and you come and you talk to us because hey, we love to hear what you think about these Patreon roads too because we
Yep.
do them for you. So
Feedback is appreciated.
Oh yeah.
5 stars is appreciated.
5 stars appreciated.
Yeah.
Rate and review.
Good ratings. Good ratings forever. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your mom. She'll be proud of you.
Keep writing in those questions as well.
Yes.
Hit the email. Once you're hit the email, get the website. Get the link to the Discord from the website. Get in the forums. Send some questions there if you have to. Send some questions to the email. Hit us up in Discord. Check us all out. Come hang out with us. That's always fun.
Yeah, we're almost always about. That's the thing. If with that Patreon, well, where is it? You should tell us where it is. It's right there. We got a link to it right there on our homepage, right there in the front page.
Yeah, you can't search it because we have, quote, explicit adult content,
Yeah.
which basically means we swear if we want to.
We do, and we do.
We do.
Damn.
We do,
They-
and we do want to.
We do want
Yeah.
to.
So,
Don't tell
want
me
to
what to
hard.
fucking do.
you go to our homepage and click the fucking link to get to the goddamn Patreon on, and we'll put it in our Discord too. Because why
Pin that in
not?
our
Because
notes
why
area.
not?
Yeah, we'll pin it. I like the fucking little thumbnail it makes.
Yeah, it's
It looks-
true.
it looks
That
really
does-
nice.
That does look really nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, on to it.
on to
On
the
to it.
topic
So-
of the day.
Topic
Hey.
du jour.
Thanks for listening to the
Tribe.
business.
So the tribe of today,
It is time for the Uktena.
older brother.
And
So wait, there's more brothers?
Well,
there are a lot of brothers.
there's- yeah.
Shaft and Golden Knight,
Shit!
Will Smith.
Okay,
You got-
Danny.
which one tried to kill Danny?
You got MJ and Magic Johnson. And
Wow.
There's like 30% of the country. It's weird you don't know that.
We're all brothers.
We are all brothers.
And sisters.
Yep.
Danny's still broken.
Gotta hate
We're,
your
we're waiting.
I know.
We're waiting. Danny's still broken.
No.
Jesus. Older brother. It's really commonly called.
Yes.
I softballed the segue and you ruined it.
I didn't ruin anything.
No, it's great. Yeah, one of the three Pure Ones tribes. This is a thing we know. Mm-hmm. Up there with the Wendigo and the Croton, who are just fucking sleeping with the fishes.
You're sleeping with the turtles.
They're sleeping with the fishes.
But why?
Because of a different episode.
Okay,
I was gonna
fine.
say, come on.
No, we got
Well,
the
you can't mention older brother without mentioning the others.
No, you,
Right,
yeah,
right.
You could, but you shouldn't. But we're going to anyway.
Yeah.
It's the story. I
Well,
mean,
no, we're
come
not
on.
gonna have much time we're gonna spend.
No, I get it. I'm not saying deep dive into the other two. I'm just saying you got to make sure we mention. The
We already
other two.
did.
Yeah. All
Yes.
three of them make
Where
the
did your
one.
Wendigo?
Wendigo.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. You were in that one, weren't you?
Croton hasn't come out yet.
No, we
Well,
didn't do the
that's-
Lost Tribe
That's a
series
Lost
yet.
Tribe series.
Fuck you guys.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Right,
I
Jesus.
have listened. I told you this countless times.
This is why.
He only
I know.
listens to the Ragabash episode, remember?
Yeah,
Like
only
8
the
times.
ones
You
you
just
did.
have that on loop.
It's how I get up in the morning. It's
Weird.
my alarm.
So the Uktena are super creepy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can say
yeah.
that.
But why?
They're cryptic.
They are.
They're secret keepers.
They
Gotcha.
actively seek out those secrets.
Right,
As well.
Yes, they do.
right.
Yeah, but they also keep the secrets in fear that they're the only ones that should be able to hold on to them. They're afraid if anyone else gets those secrets, bad things will happen.
Well, I mean, with their history, it's kind of proved.
Right?
I mean, there is the whole
What the
wormcomer
Shadow Lords
kerfuffle.
You know?
Kerfuffle.
Yeah, kerfuffle's a word. I mean,
The whole wormcomer kerfuffle, yes.
yeah.
I like how they called them worm comers.
And then the incident with the Eater of Souls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quote unquote incident.
Well,
Happenstance. And then there was maybe something to a lesser extent with the Shadow Lords. Do I want to say specifically?
the Shadow Lords were named quite extensively.
Yeah,
They were.
They don't like them.
No.
I mean,
No,
I
they
understand
don't.
why.
Yeah.
They're given the blame.
But maybe
a lot.
we should probably start with the Impersium.
Right.
We always talk about the fucking Impersium.
Yep.
I think we're
Yeah.
tired of it, but let's.
Now,
But look, we have a series here. We got a show we put on.
I couldn't find any mention of the Impergium. Was I just not researching well enough?
I had a hard time finding it as well.
I don't think it was in the revised book,
Okay.
but I did find out that they were not participants.
Well, that's what I was leaning towards because, you generally don't have a section in the book if you're not party to it.
Yeah, and their thoughts on the Impersium would just strengthen the humans. Because you kill off the weak, all that's left is the strong that know about you.
Yeah.
Which isn't. We've heard that line of thinking before.
Yes, we have.
It's not. We first heard that with, I believe it was the Soundstriders.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
Makes sense.
So, and did they cure the War of Rage?
Also didn't participate.
Well, I mean, there was the Kamatas, and I mean, it was happening around them.
Well, that's
They
that's-
were kind of running away from it.
Well, once we get to the Kamatas, we're talking the Second War of Rage,
Mm.
which was on the Shadow Lords,
Yes,
Predominantly.
yes,
as on them.
yeah.
Blame.
So
Again, they came up again.
Sorry, Lord of Koitsko.
Yeah, they didn't participate in the War of Rage because they were in the Americas.
Right.
So, wasn't
None of this affects them because
Yeah.
the European Garo hadn't come to North America yet.
yeah, they were on a different continent.
That is the line, and they keep that line.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the Wendigos, it's a likely story. Your stories certainly add up.
Yeah, but you have this doubtful look on your face.
Well, I do have this doubtful look on my face.
I
Drop some
think
knowledge.
this is where the speculation's coming in because they're such secret keepers.
No, I'm not even. Well, I see what you did there.
Mm.
But I think that maybe falls in line with something we're going to hear about next week.
Okay.
I mean, it was a different age. It was a savage age. So you never know.
Never
You
know
son of a
exactly
bitch.
what happens.
No, you never know exactly what happens. And so, I wonder if things maybe played out vastly differently, at least in certain people's minds. So, but it does match up with what the Wendigo are spouting. It's definitely more friendly for everybody. It's less maybe judgmental.
And like in this
Yeah, you could say that big time.
in the revised book, they didn't have the Impergium section. They didn't have the War of Rage section. They did have descriptions of cairns and septs and descriptions of moots and gatherings, which I appreciated.
I thought that was very cool. And, we have a handful of, I'm going to say, fucking historians in our Discord.
Yes.
That's aggressively true.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have. They will argue with you about the seconds. Forget the dates. They're going to be like, "Nah, it couldn't have happened in these 10 minutes. That's wrong." They got it down.
Yeah.
You want to know what Genghis Khan had for lunch on his 5th birthday? Somebody knows. Somebody in that fucking Discord can answer that question.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm
After
just
this
saying,
airs, we're gonna have that answer.
right? I'm just saying, is we got people in there that are that good, that are that dedicated to history. It's a big deal. I'm not so much a history guy. I'm like a coffee table kind of figure when
Broad
it comes
strokes.
to history. Yeah, just give me the how many just give me the thing I can talk about casually. I don't care about the detail. I don't care.
Nope.
And that's me. Mileage varies. So to have something like that, a list of here's a bunch of seps, here's some rituals, here's some rites. That I'm into.
Right.
Give me more information like that. I want to hear about it. We go back to our previous tribal. I don't care what William Wallace did. It would be. I think we heard shit shortly after that aired about how inaccurate Braveheart was in general.
Yeah.
Which wasn't giving us shit. We didn't make the movie. But I'm like, well, I still don't care. It was entertaining, kind of. That's enough. That's all I want.
Yeah.
But also goes back to the point where our historians of the Discord, they
Well.
know.
No, I'm saying great on them, but I'm saying I appreciate that while normally we would have this extensive history, and I mean, there's still a history, and there's that timeline, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Much
Yeah,
like the
that
Fianna, the
timeline
Uktena has
was
a
amazing.
really nice timeline.
More
Yeah.
in depth than the Fianna did. And
Yeah.
again, I really appreciated that.
And like I can appreciate that too, even as someone who isn't so much devils in the details about the history. But I like that they made the room for here's some seps, here's some cairns, here's some rites and rituals. I want more of that. And I was really happy to see.
It makes it easier as a storyteller too.
Yeah.
You can definitely put in place. This is there.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? Go look at the book.
If you don't believe me, what are we doing here?
That's fair.
Why are you still listening to this episode?
Don't say that, Danny. They're going to start to think about it.
Well, there was a little part I did appreciate as far as we'll call it history, but it was it was gaining their totem of Uktena.
Okay.
How they became the Uktena, essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a little blurb in there because they have their, this is what they did. But there was another blurb that some tell a different story, and it was that the tribe had a different totem, and that was Skyhawk, and it was so big that Skyhawk's wings would stretch from one side of the sky to the other.
Okay.
And then big brother went looking for middle brother. Didn't find him, but they found a sea serpent. They found the Uktena totem essentially sleeping. It was woken up by Skyhawk.
Bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Uktena totem struck down Skyhawk, and then Big Brother fought the serpent. And now that, obviously they won because they have a totem, but Uktena said, I will be your totem. I won't bring back Skyhawk if you honor me instead.
Well, and at that point, I would argue, like, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know?
Well, that
What
was
are
the
you
thing.
gonna
Is they said, since we won, we order you to bring back Skyhawk. He said, I'll do you one better.
But is that one better?
No.
You know, like, he's like, you beat me. Nah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my point of the totem himself.
And like I was gonna wait till we got into it, but Yaktena's an asshole.
A little bit.
Like he's just a huge gaping asshole.
Even the original story, that's not refuted with that one.
Mm-hmm.
He is. I mean, he's literally just
Yeah.
he's just eating some deer, and then I found better game. I'm gonna eat the garu.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, you look at the totems. You know, and you have the echelons of, I'm gonna say coolness, but when I say that, I mean in temperament. All right.
Okay.
You know, like Red's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, Pega Unicorn is chill as fuck.
Pega unicorn?
What's that?
Pega unicorn?
Pega Unicorn is chill as fuck. I was gonna start with Pegasus.
I
And
figured
don't wanna,
that's where you're
Yeah.
going, but I just had to call that up.
That's fine. You know, but like Unicorn is chill as fuck.
Yes.
You can throw down with Rat probably.
Have a few
wouldn't-
drinks.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't make a habit of it, and I wouldn't get too familiar.
but not going to take your hand.
Right. You know.
Ooh, yeah.
And then you look at that echelon and you think about Fenris, who will show up and put his fucking jaws around your throat and go, "Oh, you want more, trucker?" And you think about him as kind of like the ceiling of the. No, it's not the
No.
ceiling.
No,
That is not the ceiling.
It goes further.
Tina will straight up eat you.
No questions.
So you can look at me and die.
Yeah.
Folks you know will die.
I'm about to say, if it's not you, then but most of your close loved ones are gonna die.
This is a bad
Was
day
it
in Dartmouth.
worth it? Was summoning Uktena worth it?
And they talk about that, how you'll see a shadow.
Right.
You'll hear the rustling.
Yeah.
You know, you'll maybe get a glimpse of part of him. But you shouldn't be seeing like Uktena proper. It's like Medusa, man. Don't.
I was about
Don't
to say,
do
is this
that.
like Medusa,
Yeah.
or you can even reference Harry Potter with the thing?
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter. You know, like when he went to the school.
Just like that.
Yeah, just because there was the book that was bad.
Sure.
And the Riddler happened. They went to Voldemort. I don't really know Harry Potter.
Voldemort.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's not your forte, huh?
I don't.
He's
Just-
not
I
a
just
13-year-old girl.
I don't know much about Harry Potter. Was I close?
You got the book part right. That was in that.
Those books.
One.
There were books.
There was
Uh,
a
there-
book.
There was a school.
There was a school. You got that part right as well.
And I got Voldemort.
Close, but yeah.
All right.
So 2.5 for 3.
See, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's like a B plus, motherfucker. I'm taking it.
I'll give you B minus.
Oh. See, that's just preference at that
A
point.
solid B
That's
minus.
just him not liking me. Is what the minus is about.
I mean, come on.
No. That's fair. I don't blame you.
But can I go back to history for a second?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I read a line in the revised book that said that they weren't present for the crafting of the litany, but they agree with it. So when the litany was created and agreed upon, they weren't there.
Yeah, isn't that a little bullshit? Like I feel I want to call bullshit on
It's a
that.
little bullshit because it's like, how do you exist? I mean, that was like at the start.
Yeah, what about the Concord, asshole?
They
Right.
weren't there. They weren't there.
Or are they just keeping their secrets?
How great / obnoxious would that be? Like they're denying being at the party that everyone else was also at.
You're like, yeah, we weren't there, but I saw you at the juice table.
We weren't there.
You weren't there.
I have a selfie with you. Not
I
I
there.
wasn't there.
That wasn't me.
I was holding up that day's newspaper and the GPS of the location. And me.
Wasn't me.
Photoshop's a bitch.
Because that existed then.
The GPS wasn't it?
All
A
of the
I
things.
said selfie for fuck's sake.
It could have been carved out of stone.
True.
I-
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God!
They would have had to be there for a few months.
All the more proof.
But they weren't there, but they agree with the litany. So, like, that's kind of neat that other people made rules for them, and they're like, yeah, we're cool with it.
Isn't it one of those they have to, though?
No.
I mean,
It's Gaia's will.
Well,
Look at Wendigo.
the litany was crafted. So, is it Guy as well?
wasn't I saving that for an episode?
Oh,
I don't
was
recall.
crafted.
I feel like I was saving that argument for an episode, like this whole time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
You know, but it's guys. Well, dude, it was made by committee.
It's a goddamn camel.
And
Guys,
small
Will
swallows.
was some asshole shadow lord going, here's the dangerous don't list.
Right? And I mean, getting off topic for a second, look at the Wendigo.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They eat humans, you know? Look at the Red Talons. They,
Have
with the
many
Impergiums.
Yeah.
So to say that the Uktena have to follow the litany, no. They weren't there.
Fair.
Well, I mean,
Point
no one
Joey.
was there. So I guess technically-
Well, the people who wrote it down, you know,
But they ain't around today.
well,
Maybe they got it wrong.
yeah, they could have.
Telephone, man. It's just ask the Striders. They invent shit. They just make shit up.
Well, they were running around for the kings.
That's right.
Better than the Glasswalkers who write it down.
Well,
Oh, look at that. Look at all these different tribal episodes we just brought up.
this is how this is going on.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I tried to look away and then I couldn't anymore.
You're wiping that microphone down.
There is nothing. This is safe.
Safe space.
I drank a whole bunch of Clorox before I came here. It's
Oh,
fine.
good. Okay.
He's clean.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
Ooh, roasted.
One thing I do like about him is they actively seek out kin that are like basically shunned upon by their tribes and try to gather them as their kin.
Yeah, I've always phrased it like they're after the stragglers.
Yeah.
Or the outcasts, the losers.
But
And I
it's
don't
their
mean
way of-
losers in any negative connotation, but the ones that other people have kind of cast off.
Mm-hmm. And I like it because that's how they're gaining the secrets of those tribes too.
Oh,
They're-
I, didn't
that's
think
how
about
they're
that's
that.
getting-
dastardly.
That's how they're getting their knowledge.
I didn't even think about it that way. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I read that and I was like, wow. That's a really nice workaround on getting some of that knowledge that you can
That's
keep to
dastardly.
yourself.
But like, isn't that kind of what the Bonars do? Is you know?
In a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I saw that kind of coming as how I choose to phrase that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the Bonars will take anyone.
But you have to go to them.
You know, the Uktena certainly will seek you out, as established, but it's I shouldn't use the word loser, even though either way it wasn't really in a negative connotation so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, the Bonars will take your tired, your weak, your poor.
Okay.
You know, the Uktena will take the brown kid in class because he's the only one.
Oh, okay.
And it's not necessarily about the color at that point, because it could be the only white because he's the only white kid, or the Chinese, you know, whatever. It's that.
He's the minority.
Yeah, he's the singular guy. He's the odd man out.
Okay, yeah, that makes
One
more
that won't
sense.
be noticed if pulled away, also one that's not really looked upon.
Right. You know.
The powerless.
You could make that argument. I mean, you could do that with the Bodnars too, but I mean, there is in fact a distinction.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of like what Rat does. He just grabs a little bit from here and there for their brood.
Well, Uktena does do a bit of thieving with his brood, but we'll get there.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying in that sense
No,
to tie it in. It's
right,
just-
but I
it's
mean,
kind of like what Rat does when he pulls the little guys away.
No, I see what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, rat. You know, the Bonars will be like, "Hey, I'll take anybody. Hey, you're down on your luck. Come on with us. You're an outcast. You're with us." I mean, that's you know, that's maybe the difference.
Gotcha. Okay, so can we move along to the second War of Rage?
Yeah, we can absolutely talk Second War of Rage. We have the Fifth War of Rage. We have to make it, but we can talk about it.
I'm sure we
I don't know if Apocalypse was happening prior to that, but sure.
I think the laser fangs are taking out the cyber cats.
Oh, Space Wars.
What?
I don't know. It's the fifth one. That's a long. I mean, come on.
Space Wars?
We've got 3 more War of Rages to make up.
All right.
We're in space by then.
Fair.
But yeah, the Shadow Lords kinda started some crap.
They absolutely did. And this is something we are going to circle back on in the Shadow Lord episode.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was
That
gonna say,
episode is going to be long.
That might be a
There's a
two-parter.
lot of stuff going into that episode. We've done that a lot through these tribal series.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know it's a thing they touched out on.
Yeah.
Because it's something that they are almost exclusively, it's on
Yeah.
them.
Exclusively at fault.
Yeah.
yeah, and the Uktena were hanging out with the Aztecs, and the Shadow Lords came over, and they saw a Bane imprisoned in one of the pyramids. And the Shadow Lords said, "Hey, there's a Bane in that pyramid," and thought to themselves, didn't bother to question anybody about it, and thought, "Hey, that's a haven. That's like a little palace for that Bane."
So we need to destroy the Bane and its haven.
Well, instead they killed the Bane tender.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't even bother finding out why it's
no,
there.
no. They killed the Bane tender and started a whole mess and released a whole bunch of Banes.
Oops.
Yeah. And so, the Uktena were busy chasing those Banes and trying,
Trying to bind them all back.
yeah, and, hide from the Shadow Lords who thought that they were worm folk because they
Had
worship,
Yeah.
their totem is a serpent,
Mm-hmm.
and they were hanging out with Banes in pyramid palaces.
Well, and to add to this, and this is stepping a little bit on those, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
be talking about this again anyway. We're going to talk about it now.
Mm-hmm.
We made that mistake before, the Bonarge and the...
Right.
So we're talking about it both times. Too bad. Is you had the Kamatas there as well,
Right.
who are bat shifters, and there are crazy blood rituals going on. And you have to keep in mind that the Shadow Lords had a long history of dealing with vampires and some shady shit and blood rituals and certain vampires that can make themselves look like Batman. Not
Yes.
Batman, but
Like
Bats.
Yeah,
Batsman.
It's man.
yeah. Dracula's.
Yeah. So they get to the New World, and what do they see?
That.
More bats.
Mistakes
and
were made.
Blood
Yes.
rituals.
And
It's not that they were justified, and then they say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you can see how we made the mistake.
And to the Uktena when they killed the last one.
well, before we even get there,
Okay. Because, yeah, that's
The-
the big no-no.
Uktena were driven into the jungle where the Balam and the Mokale are. And there were Farah hunters who were going into these jungles with the express directive of killing Farah. So the Mokale and the Balam can't tell an Uktena from a Shadow Lord.
Right.
So they were just killing any guru.
Anything that got close.
Yep. And it was of note in the book. It specified that the Fianna were the top of the Farah hunters. They were like, yeah, that's my jam.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm going to write a new character.
I'm so ashamed to be part of your heritage now.
But the Kamatas, they're not fighters. They're not warriors.
No, that's not their designation.
Yeah, so they were just flying from group to group to group to spread the word of this, and they were getting basically shot out of the skies. So, okay, what happened when they killed the last one?
Up to the last one where they say that his death cry echoed the Umbra, which brought the Eater of Souls.
And that happened in 1521.
Holy hell.
And that is definitely an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tina's take on it.
No,
yes.
absolutely. You know, and I mean, look, War Rage 2, fuck, you know, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Bad
It's
news
great.
bears.
I'm not going to sit here like some
The
silver
first
fan.
one was bad. Second one, bad.
Even worse.
Well, I don't think they heard what you said. I heard you.
I'm saying,
I get you. I understand where you're going with it.
saying it's okay. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. It happened. We're pushing through and we're moving on.
Yeah.
Well, and, you know, the Shadow. Well, this is the Shadow Lord episode, so who gives a shit what the Shadow Lord's did? Beyond this. we'll
Other
talk
fact
about
that Uktena hates him. So.
right.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about the Shadow Lords of the Shadow Lord show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's enough Shadow
Yeah, no,
Lording
yeah,
for
we're
this
done.
episode.
Yeah, we're done.
Right. It was
We
just,
just had to make sure we painted the picture that
Right.
Uktena hate the Shadow Lords.
Yeah, and understandably.
Yeah.
But I mean, this happened to the Uktena, and that's where I was coming.
Yeah.
You know.
No, for sure.
So, do we want to discuss camps, or do we want to move on to totems? What do we want to talk about?
Either one. We don't have that set in order anymore. It's been half and half. Which one comes first?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've always played pretty fast and loose, even once we made the format.
Yeah.
What format?
It's either going
There's
to
like
be...
three things we got to touch on.
Well, as far as the format goes, it's either going to be camps or it's going to be totems, and then the other one. So,
Okay.
what's first in your notes? How about that?
I have camps.
All right, moving on to camps.
Yes.
Camps it is.
Okay, so we have the Earth Guides, and they seek out wisdom from this world. Ancient rituals, forgotten, ceremonies, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're rediscovering traditions.
Yeah,
I saw that.
from the realm.
Right.
Skywalkers are like Earth Guides, but it's about the spirits and the Umbra for them.
And they fight the Palpatines, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different show.
Oh.
Such a dick.
They named them that.
I know.
Okay.
It's so funny though.
And there's no excuse. It wasn't like this
Yeah.
came before.
Right, like, well, I hadn't heard of Star Wars. What's a,
Right.
what's a Skywalker? That's crazy.
Then we've got the Bane Tenders.
Can we wait on them till last?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I should do
Yeah.
that last.
Um,
But after Skywalkers, I should probably go Web Walkers.
you want to make my notes up?
Okay, never mind. Forget it. I was just
He was going down his notes and he's trying to change yours.
I just thought maybe it would be better next to each other, that's all. But proceed. I
It's gonna be a
apologize.
fist fight this episode.
I apologized.
Thunderdome 2.
Already?
Children of the Wild. They fully embrace the chaos of Grandmother Smoke.
I could be on board with that.
Well. Then we have the Web Walkers. And those are followers of Grandfather Spider, and they are drawn to the Weaver. Then we have the Scouts, who are messengers and they keep the tribe united. Next camp is the Raiders, who seek out treasures and hoard them.
Mm-hmm.
They belong in a museum.
Zing.
So, second to last camp we're going to discuss is the Path Dancers, whose ways are hidden from outsiders.
Like, what an asshole thing to write.
I know. And it's like,
I was
it's not
waiting.
even just that they're
Aren't they
hidden.
just Uktena at that point?
Well, no, it's worse than that. Like, regular Uktena don't know what they do or why they do it. It's like a super duper hyper secret club.
Like,
Do they have a secret handshake?
for the description, they might as well have just written, guess.
Yeah.
And the big question is just a blank space.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
that attitude, I'm like, guess.
Yeah.
Like,
with
fuck
it.
you.
And then, like, a middle finger.
Yeah, they draw.
Oh,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a nice little picture of an Uktena flicking you off.
Yes. Okay, so let's circle back to the Bane Tenders, because they are the most fun.
We do, but don't we have the
Oh, yeah,
Bitter
the-
Frost?
The Society
Society
of the Bitter Frost.
Frost.
Yeah, that was on the second page. Yeah.
Well, she didn't want to go to the second.
No, we can't even
So-
on the second page.
Those are those were outcast for falling to the worm.
Right. But I found it interesting that they had a blurb. There's that section there where it has quotes from each of the different camps, and they're in there.
They are, yeah.
You know, and I found it interesting the idea that at one point, you know, after the Wormcomers happen and all this, you know, and the Uktena, they're down and out, just like the Wendigo are, that the Spirals show up. And they're like, hey guys,
What up?
we're gonna, you want to learn shit. Do you like secrets? Do you, kid?
We got some secrets.
So this is like they don't dance and become a black spiral, but they're corrupted.
Well, yeah, they're like, the worm is a serpent, and your dad's kind of serpenty. Why don't you come with us and be buddies forever?
We'll show you some stuff.
And the Uktena are like, yeah, sure. Yeah, bring it. Sweet, come over. And so the Spirals do, and they're like, fuck you, we were kidding. And attack the shit out of it, except for some didn't.
Some didn't.
And
yeah.
we're like, yeah, it's boogie. And it's really...
But how do you find the line between that? Like, how did they didn't dance? Did they dance? Did they actually become a spiral? Like, how can you call them
It
Uktena
doesn't
at that
say
point?
that,
Doesn't
is the
say
thing. And the bitch of it is the way, at least the way it read to me, okay? Wasn't so much that they were ousted. Like, it's understood that they're warmed up.
And, you know,
But, like...
they're over there, and that's cool.
Yeah, but, like, maybe they're still in a care in Arizona.
But it's
and
like,
we're just
hey,
going to let that
cuz.
happen.
And it's like, you know, it's one of those, like, yeah, that's my cousin, and he's got problems.
Right.
But he's still my cousin.
But we're tainted.
Or like grandma who uses those racial slurs, but she's like 85 and you're not going to change that. You know, she doesn't mean anything by it, so you just ignore it.
So they love the tenants that they weren't there for. Oh, you know, but they're
Well-
gonna go against one.
Well, no.
Well, it's
no.
not them. It's more like just a handful.
Some folk.
Yeah.
But at
you
that
know?
point, they're not Uktena anymore.
But no, this is what we're
where,
saying.
I mean, this is what I'm just trying to find.
It's a little nebulous,
line.
isn't it not?
Yeah, and they're kind of Uktena anti-trib.
It's not super clear.
It really isn't, and it's boggling my mind that you can even call them Uktena at that point.
Well, if they haven't left the tribe, but
at this point they shouldn't exist if they're worshiping
Okay,
the worm.
okay.
Well, they're not, it's not that they're worshiping.
I
It's
mean,
they were given some secrets.
dude,
they probably
their
shouldn't have.
totem used to work for the worm.
Oh, I get
yes.
it. Yes.
So,
and that's something to point out.
So, like, they just flipped. You know, so I mean, it's all wishy-washy.
It's kind of like an undercover game, maybe.
Maybe.
But also maybe I've been undercover too long,
Yeah.
and I've
Developed a coke addiction.
Yeah, like
and-
look, I haven't been faking. All right, I've
Yeah.
been,
Okay, I get it a little bit now.
you know, and I think maybe it's because it's very nebulous. They don't
Yeah.
outright say it, but how Uktena is that?
Right.
You know, that group can almost be used as like antagonists.
They could,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, or you could like do some crazy, you know, Worm 21 Jump Street kind of thing with it.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Dibs on Greco.
Damn it.
I don't even want Depp. That guy went to. I don't like the pirate thing. I'm done with that. I got Greco. He's a bad man.
I kind of got Holly.
You know she sang the theme song.
Yeah.
Not enough people know that.
Oh, okay.
Now
Well,
they do.
more people know now.
Yes, it's a good theme song.
So
It is.
congratulations.
21 Jump Street. Check it out.
So now can we go back to the Bane Tenders?
Yeah, we absolutely can.
Yeah,
'Cause-
But I think we have the most to say about the Bay Tenders, so I wanted to save that for last time. I feel like
Yeah.
that was the thing.
agreed.
Because the Bay Tenders are fucking awesome.
They really are.
I think they're like probably the most important part of the tribe.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. Like, you know, I have been, it's no secret, I'm not a huge fan of camps. Mm-hmm. You know, when we went down my theory about their creation from a meta standpoint,
Yep,
you know,
and
about why people put them
transparency.
in the game in the first place. I stand by that theory.
It really fits as we go through all the tribal stuff. It's like it fits.
All right, Web
Yeah.
Walkers, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, so I stand by that. You know, but there are exceptions to that rule to where I think camps are very important. And I think one of those examples is the Uktena Bane Tenders. It adds to their identity as a tribe in
really
such
does.
a way
Oh, yeah.
that I kind of don't give a shit about an Uktena that isn't a Bane Tender.
I mean,
Because, like, they're so interesting. Why would you not do the most interesting version?
yeah, and there's like the ghost dancers who are simply there to preserve Croton's memory.
Right.
Like, okay, we all know they did that thing.
Well, also, isn't that a bit like you broke up with that girl? Oh, my God. Isn't that a bit like Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
Where, like, they
the
didn't
hell
get
did
over
you-
Elizabeth Shue in high school.
Oh my god.
And that was the whole
How did
thing.
you get there?
Right?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spoiler.
dude.
I'm just messing with you.
Dude, you can see Karate Kid. I can't help you.
Yeah, because it really didn't even need Cobra Kai, it's just Karate Kid at that point.
But, you know, I mean, right?
No, you're absolutely right. I'm mad at you for it, but you're fucking right.
It's kind of like the girlfriend you didn't get over in high school. Like, I miss you so much. It's been a while, man. You need to date.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's your brother.
Well, don't date your brother. That's
fine,
not what you're
but
saying.
it's referencing your brother.
But it's time to put the shrine away. You can remember it without a creepy shrine.
You can have pictures hanging in the wall. That's
You don't need to put a
fine.
mannequin with his clothes on.
On the couch.
Okay, all right.
Weird.
You know,
So,
That took a dark turn.
I worked Cobra Kai into that.
I know.
That was
that's
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Right?
but then we're putting mannequins with clothes and you're keeping those in the closets. Man, I
I
get
didn't
it.
say in the
No,
closet.
no one said.
I'm just saying.
Oh, that's where
Here's
Danny
another one.
And Danny's got the mannequin in the closet.
I get this tribe keeps secrets, but holy hell.
That's a secret, Danny.
You're right. It is.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Bridge across the internet. Your favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast.
Favorite collection of assholes.
Right. We gotta be. You're listening.
God damn right.
No, but I feel like the Bane Tenders. They're
Oh my-
such a. And I might have like oversold it there for a second, but
No.
they're so fucking interesting.
And-
This idea of. Go ahead.
What they do is it's fascinating. Like, they are not fans of killing spirits or banes.
Well, and sometimes you can't.
Right.
And moreover, when you think, and this is useful for some of you newer players, when you think you're killing a Bane, you're not
Yeah,
killing a
no.
Bane. You're sending it home.
Right. And it can come back. So if you lock it away mystically,
Yes. You've taken it off the battlefield. You've taken it
Right.
off the fucking board.
you
You
know,
remove the chess piece.
The
Yeah.
problem is,
That it needs to be tended to.
and
Yes.
watched and maintained.
and these guys take such risks. It's unbelievable, even just to do the rite of binding.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that down. It's amazing what you have to do to bind one of these dudes.
Well, you know what? It's not that time of the show, but this is the appropriate moment.
Right.
So why don't you enlighten everybody?
So the rite of Bane binding, you actually have to trap the Bane in the spirit cage, which you need a different rite for. Okay, so we're going on to rite number 2 for this.
So it's a hell of a process, is what you're saying.
The two rights
Whoa.
don't make a wrong.
Buckle in.
Damn it, you.
Buckle in. Because many guru will die during this ritual
Of Bane binding.
of Bane binding.
Holy hell. Okay.
You expend gnosis, and in parentheses it says much. Willpower and stamina. For every 20 points of combined gnosis, willpower, and stamina, stamina, willpower, and gnosis. Stamina.
Wow.
For every 20 points combined amongst the group, the difficulty of the roll drops by 1. Okay.
Started from what, though?
It's a wits plus ritual diff 9,
Shit.
and the minimum difficulty is a diff 7.
So they can do this and only drop 2 points if
They
use that
have
match.
40 combined sacrificed points.
Jesus Christ.
Now, if you fail the roll, the Right Master stays alive, which good, but you have a pissed off Bane.
Well, I can imagine so.
In close proximity to a very exhausted, mostly drained group of Guru, primarily the Right Master. If you botch, it's an
Everybody
immediate, messy death of the Right Master. And it's stated as immediate and messy.
So at this point, this is a serious thing going on.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, hey, me and, 15 Guru are
Yeah.
getting together, and people are gonna die, for sure. And maybe somebody will walk out with a Bane locked in a pocket watch that they then have to carry around and keep reinforcing that spirit cage.
Well,
Keep
and
safe.
and I'd like to bring that up because traditionally this was all done to the earth. Situations like the Narthwest, where these Banes are bound into the earth, or for example, there's something under the great tree at the.
Well, and like we said in the Second War Rage, it was the pyramid, the
Right.
Aztec pyramid.
Yeah, you have the tree at the main Charlotte Gaia cairn
Yep.
in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That the Uktena are allowed to come in and do their rituals, and they won't fucking tell anybody what they are. But they certainly seem important, so we're gonna let them keep doing it.
Right.
You know, it's
Cause-
that.
Do you want to tell the Uktena no?
That's a bad idea, genes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's traditionally the land of some sort, or a landmark, or a land mass. But you guys know in my games especially, you make the argument that maybe in the modern day,
Yeah.
my games, they are bound into other objects, like a pocket watch, or a silver dollar, or an elk's tooth, and are being held by singular Garu, as opposed to here's the 8 Bane tenders who are watching this landmass. You got Keen Swipes of Moonlight, who has sewn an elk tooth into his skin to make sure no one can get it.
Right. Because, if you've got 8 Garu watching a tree.
Right. And they can see that, well, there's 8 people there. This is obviously important. Let's go get them.
Well, and that's not to say that somebody couldn't, surveil that, figure out who those 8 are, and take them out separately, because not all 8 are there all the time.
Right.
And moreover, that rock is always going to fucking be there. What do you do? And this was a problem that you guys ran into but didn't have to solve because it was above your pay grade. In the game, remember, is that the Narthus is there.
Yeah.
It's this giant fucking.
It's
You
just
can't
there.
hide it. It's just going to be here. What do you do about that? Where Hannibal Mengde has a pocket watch. Where's Hannibal Mengde? Who's Hannibal Mengde? What does that
Right.
mean? Or to call back to our postmortem series, at the end of that, the spirit cage in this case was the skull of the Right Master because of emergency jacassery.
I was about to say, just hearing that really puts into perspective what was done in that.
Right?
Like, I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here like, wow.
And so, but what happened afterwards? They took the skulls of fallen enemies and allies and made replicas because it's too big to just
To have, yeah.
to sew under your armpit, for example,
Right.
or keep in your pocket.
To
So-
better hide it.
Yeah, you need duplicates, fakes.
Yeah, just to make sure, or to keep people off the scent or whatever. And you can have someone watch that fake guy and can report back, hey, someone's after them. Decoy one's been found, whatever. I mean, you don't know, but
Right.
No.
actually, I wanted
Yeah.
to point that out. Is
Right.
that's something that I've done in my modern games is make it more portable. Sure, there's only one person watching them, but doesn't that make them all the more badass?
Yeah.
And make their
100%.
job all the more dangerous. And it's a thing we encountered in this last Chronicles, Shadows and Tall Trees, where there was a mysterious sickness that was making the Bane tenders fail and allowing the Banes themselves to get control of the tender. And these are possibilities, because that shit's whispering at you.
Yeah.
What's out?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's. I mean, at that point, it's kind of a fetish.
It could be. You
You
know,
know?
if you decide to tap into it, right?
And
Don't
what
recommend.
kind of bad news bears is that?
Exactly. And then here's the thing, who's to say it's lying to you?
Yeah.
When the character Hannibal Mengde, when we created that character, and to be clear, that was a joint between me and a friend of mine in the Virginia games. The idea was to joint create a character so we could take turns being storyteller and wouldn't have to fuck with the pack dynamic.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, cool, I need a break from storytelling. He can tell a few and I could just play Hannibal. It's fine. We create them together. I know how the character works. I won't play him wrong. And one of the ideas there is that he had a pocket watch that was, persistent, and would talk to him and give him advice, and it was straight with him most of the time.
Yeah.
Hannibal was a smart guy. He was read in tactics, and he was big, he knew the art of war backwards and forwards. He was into that shit. And so he'd give him tactical advice, I was here at this battle, this happened this way. You should, no, you guys are your backs to the wall. If you let me out for a second, or if you loaned me your power for a second, I'll show you how it was done, you'll get through it. No casualties. And maybe he means it. And
Maybe he
he'll
doesn't.
relinquish control. He'll give it back.
Maybe he won't.
Because he needs to weaken the guy enough that he can just do it full time anyway.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
God.
deep. Wow.
I'm sorry if that was too much of a...
No.
No, that was great.
No, I'm like,
Just
holy shit.
a little mind blowing.
Yeah.
Just a
The
little bit.
The Bane tenders are hard asses.
Yeah, they are.
No, so that makes sense why you say, like, the rest of the Uktena, if they're not a Bane tender, why would you give a shit? I can understand because they're so cool.
I was being a bit hyperbolic, but
Like I said, but that's my point. I
the Bane
understand
tenders are the
why.
coolest.
I don't know. Bane tenders are badass, but I also like the scouts. I also like the raiders.
No, I was,
Yeah, yeah.
there's room for others, but I think the Bane tender is one of those examples of a camp that best personifies a tribe and enhances it to such a degree.
Oh yeah.
You look at the Get Fenris and there isn't one. You look at the Fianna, there really isn't one. There's not one that makes that tribe better.
No.
Bane tenders really.
Yeah. Everything about them enhances that whole tribe.
Making that camp, I would say, was a stroke of genius.
I got to agree. Super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in full agreement.
Okay, so now we get to Totem.
Now we get to Totem, and we kind of started that a bit earlier to say talk about what a giant prick Uktena is.
And it used to
Kinda
serve the
couldn't
worm.
not touch on them because it's their history. It's how they got their name.
Right, but it's important. The same way every totem is important.
Oh,
and we've talked about other totems and, their portrayal and how that should be done and the temperament. And so it's important.
It is important.
And Uktena's a prick.
Yeah.
So,
Big one.
He flipped sides. Like when the worm went batty.
yeah. He was a servant to the worm.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to get corrupted up, though.
Right.
So
like
when the worm started being corrupted, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he jumped ship.
Yeah.
I don't
He
part of
was
this.
he was a servant for the balance worm, and when the worm got caught in the weaver's web and went crazy and started corrupting, he said, "Nah."
Well, and he actually got caught for a little bit.
Yeah.
But allegedly was fine, though. It's cool.
Yeah, it's all good.
Because he's a giant prick.
And he
switched.
switched over to Gaia. I was like, okay.
Oh.
Survival.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Largely, is everyone else left him alone, kind of thing, or
well, he'll kill you. So,
so leave him alone.
well, and all the totems.
But like,
Owl can kill you.
yeah.
Rat can kill you.
But turn you to stone Medusa style.
Right, but
There's a
Uktena,
difference.
Uktena will kill you.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Or kill all your
It's
loved
not
ones.
a could,
Yeah.
it's a will.
Yeah. It's not if you get him mad enough. It's like, no, it's Tuesday.
He's hungry.
What's on your mind, murder? What's on the menu, Garu?
Yeah. But in his brood, he's got hummingbird and parrot.
Well, he's got more than that.
But so bizarre.
There are some bizarre ones, but I think the thing about his greater brood, and it's not everybody, but it's most of them, is they're all serpents
Yeah.
in some way and or associated with the water.
Yeah.
And there is some rat-style thievery.
Yeah. Well, and it talked about parrot. One of the things parrot, it said that it loved the rain. So that's where the water element came in. And I was like, that's
so thin.
stretching.
That is so thin.
I was dying.
Rat, echo bullshit. Rat.
Right?
Probably want some bullshit.
I'm like, do you think parrot was like, what was the one that was like, cuckoo? Who was like,
Oh,
hey,
for the
dude.
gat, yeah.
For offenders, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Parrot pulled like a cuckoo and was like, hey, I like your style. Can I hang?
I think if Parrot pulled a cuckoo, it would be written better and wouldn't be such a stretch to make the correlation.
I thought it was funny though. It's like, it likes
Or you
the
just be
rain.
You know,
Just how
maybe,
Parrot got out of getting eaten.
maybe he confused him with Toucan, who's known for his sense of smell. Follow your nose.
I got it. I just wasn't giving it.
I'm just staring you down while I'm saying it too. Like I'm doing this to you.
Gross.
No, but I don't. It's a stretch.
It's a real stretch, and I just thought it was funny as hell.
But you got some weird shit.
Yeah.
Now you get them. You always pick from Axis Mundi.
I do always pick from Axis Mundi because you guys are always looking at the main book.
Right.
And Axis Mundi gives that greater spirit brood. Mm-hmm. And there's usually really neat shit there.
Yeah.
I point to one of my favorites is the Twiceborn for the Silent Striders.
Yep.
Yes.
The idea of spirits of skeletons of shit that Owl has eaten. Can you dominate something harder? It's super cool. But
It's like, I ate you, and this is your skeleton, and you're gonna work for me now.
Essentially.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's how that goes.
It's just necromancy. Sure.
Well, are you gonna call
But
L
Owl,
on it?
Owl is not a
No.
necromancer, however. He just does that through awesomeness.
Awesome, Mancer?
I don't, man.
I like that.
Yeah, Uktina's brood, I mean, it's largely stuff has an affinity with water, or search for hidden knowledge, and a lot of snakemen.
Yes.
If it's got scales, it's got a good chance of making the cut. But like I mentioned, there's some thievery involved. So when you have stuff, seriously, you talk about something, like the Twiceborn, who it's what they are, right? The Twiceborn is the Twiceborn, all right. But with Uktena, your time spent with the Uktena brood, it can be very different each time. Twiceborn can only be a Twiceborn. The thing with some of this brood is it can vary based on what type of spirit you get. And what I mean like that is one of the examples is the wingless dragon, like the Chinese style dragon,
Okay.
is part of Uktena's brood,
Makes sense. It's very serpent-like.
right?
Yeah.
It fits that bill. Scales, serpent, done.
That's really all you need.
Almost. But, the wingless dragon, they come in all shapes, sizes, temperaments, and colors.
Okay.
So, Twiceborn's just a Twiceborn.
Right.
You could get a tiny red wingless dragon who is a correspondence with fire, for example. The little happy blue one who's a correspondence with wind. Is
Or
it different, or water? Maybe it's a clear one with the air. Who knows? But
Oh, a clear one. You'd never seen coming.
it'd be like a little,
No.
like a shape, like predators. Like
Nice,
the little
a little
fuzzy
shimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a very different experience. You can't count on it, and which is going to be, and they're also guardian spirits, aside from their elemental correspondence,
Right.
which makes them somewhat less into the idea of harming mortals, which is weird because we're talking about Uktena,
Right.
who will eat your ass, and we can't stress that enough.
Yeah. How many times can we say that in this episode?
Hungry, man.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that has something to do with it, but Uktena, we know. We didn't just make this up. You're on the menu, man. But yeah, it's a super odd spirit, because again, we're talking about that Chinese dragon, so there's Henki Yokai implications all over the place, too.
Right. Right.
Oh boy.
Right? But then you have the feathered serpents, which are straight up the old serpents of Quetzalcoatl.
Okay.
Once the Aztecs, folded up, that's how I'm going to phrase that, they packed it in. So they retired, and Quetzalcoatl was just gone. Here's Uktena going, psst, 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 psst.
Hey, over here.
What's going to happen to all the brood? You might have... Yeah.
I'm pulling a rat.
Yeah.
Just taking that flag. You're mine now. You're serpenty. You got wings. Done.
Well, not all of them have scales and serpents.
No, but the vast majority.
No, but hummingbird and parrot got wings and feathers.
Yep.
Right. Well,
You got the Kolowesi, who appear is a gigantic coiled serpent. This giant water monster.
all right, it makes sense.
And then you've got the Inadu, the snake, which is it's interesting insofar that for some reason the gauntlet isn't so much a problem for snake. So they have a long-standing alliance with Uktena. They're spies, they're messengers, and even there, each snake spirit is different. I mean, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
a cobra is not a boa constrictor, is not a rattlesnake. So again, like the Chinese dragons, it's kind of a grab bag. It's not just the one thing.
Right.
And then finally, and this is the one. This is the one, man.
Oh boy.
Fish.
Fish.
It checks all the boxes.
Alright,
It's
that's
scales,
why I
it's
left.
water.
Scales and water.
There's flying fish.
There's flying
Yeah,
fish.
there's
flying
Yep.
fish.
Yep.
Yeah, these are Dakwa's children, and Dakwa was a great fish spirit who fucked off into the deep umbra.
Okay.
It's
So he
Uktena
pulled
once
the
again.
rat.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yep, Uktena once again. He goes, "Hey, everybody, who works for me now?" And true to form, he took the remaining brood. And I'm not gonna lie, it's fish. I don't
It's just fish.
care. It's fish.
Does he have any special powers or anything?
Well,
They can
piranha.
be fish.
Piranha, yeah.
The most interesting thing I can say about the DocQuest children, right? The fish spirits, is that you can't summon them. You have to fish them up.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
So apparently,
You stick your hand in the water. Some fish attract to that.
apparently, Werewolf the Apocalypse does have a fishing minigame.
Ooh.
Earth Blood.
Burn.
Oh.
Never mind, I'm mine. I wasn't even gonna bring them up after that. Holy shit. Not sorry.
Hashtag not sorry.
Mic is dropped, motherfuckers. I don't have to tell you.
Playing the world's smallest violin right now.
So I just hate to be the one after that massive burn. I would love to end the episode right there. I know we have more shit to talk about though.
Oops.
Very proud of that.
Yeah,
Like drop, cut
well,
it out.
this is season 2, so we gotta go a little more in-depth.
And no, I'm into that. Don't get me wrong.
In which
just-
case, we wish that game did.
Oh.
Oh.
We still fit it in.
Okay,
Oops.
so we're not
Thank you.
doing like rights or gifts because
I mean, unless they have.
They're super relevant.
They're super
Yeah,
relevant, in
yeah.
which case yours were.
Yeah, it was great. But I think we made that decision that you're gonna look in the book. You're gonna look at that shit anyway.
oh yeah,
You're gonna go to the fetishes immediately. The fetishes are the gifts, and we all know it,
yeah, it's the toys, it's the fun section.
right? And then you're gonna go probably straight to the write-ups on what they think of the other tribes,
Oh yeah,
Stereotypes.
because smack talk is fun.
So you just start at the back of the book and work your way
Pretty
forward.
much that's how that works.
Yeah.
So you can do that. We do other things.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to go from back to front. I go front to back.
That's what she said.
This is the fourth time you've made that joke today.
Right.
And like it didn't land the first three. That's
So
what
try
I'm.
it again.
It's the tenacity that impresses me.
yeah. There's
Yep.
It's like, I will make that. This will be funny or else. Can I
Made it on air this
I
time.
hit this with a hammer until someone laughs. God damn it!
Hey, this time it made it on air. Just saying.
It's actually the Letterman approach.
really
Yeah.
okay.
You ever watch Middle to Late Dave?
No.
He leaned on that a lot, is repeating the punchline until someone would laugh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
That doesn't help.
No.
It would eventually work because I don't know, like the sign
It's
would
because
finally
they
light
want
up.
them to stop.
Right. Right. No, they
That's the producer going, just applause.
mid to late Letterman. Original shit slayer. It's not the point though. So what we're
Okay.
looking at here is if you're gonna play an Uktena, right?
Well, one, be a Bane tender, because they're badass.
Like that's, I think that's
Yeah,
my number one suggestion.
Yeah, I think that's the correct answer.
Yeah, I mean,
But there
personal
are other
preference.
options.
Certainly there are. But I think the number one thing to take away here is the Uktena are secretive. They are secretive.
Yep.
Don't confuse that with silence.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger deal because, yes, keep your secrets, but that doesn't mean keep everything away.
Well, at that point, not everything is a secret.
Good point.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
you
a
can
better
be
way to say it.
chatty and talk about surface level stuff.
In fact, that might make people less inclined to think that you're hiding something
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are super silent, you're just under suspicion of hiding secrets.
Well, and we had a player
Or
who
hiding anything for that matter.
Yeah, well, we had a player who fell into that trap, who rolled an Uktena and wouldn't converse. You know, it's like, well, we're secretive.
You'd ask basic questions, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, there's a limit, man. Christ, you got to get good with these people to form a pack.
Exactly. And I mean, they do have a gift that allows them to have a conversation and then make a roll, and the number of successes will actually, if you get 5 successes, the person you were talking with will forget they ever had that conversation.
This gift got used on us once.
Poorly.
It's true.
Yes.
It was a
failed.
poor roll.
But it was used as it was intended because that character that was the elder, Kasai Moonwalker, was kind of painted into a corner
Yeah.
where she had to let slip some stuff she did not want to let go of.
And that's exactly what the gift is for.
Yep. So she went, okay, I'll use this gift, tell you everything, and you will forget in like an hour and a half.
Except
Right.
Yeah, well, the roll
somebody
failed.
somebody was using the burial ground dice.
Apparently, because
I don't know. Lately, you should be switching those out because they've been bad.
they
for
have
a
been
while.
mean to me. They got to cleanse that. There's some. One of you guys touched my dice, is what I think
Ah,
happened.
no.
Bad
No.
touch.
We're not even allowed near your dice.
Well, there's a reason. I think you got your loser stink on them, and now they're not,
Stick.
now they're not rolling right.
My dice smell just fine, thank you.
I'm keeping silent.
I'm choosing not to make the joke that's in my heart right now, and you're welcome.
I think
Just-
mine was
just
the
say
same
thank
joke.
you.
Just say thank you.
Just say thank you.
Tom's formulated. I think Tom just figured out that joke
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's shaking his head pretty violently.
Just say thank you.
Thank you, Port.
Hey, anytime.
Nice.
Do we have any other thoughts on?
I like how you painted Shalassi.
Okay,
She's the Uktena NPC in our game.
she's one of a few, but
Right. And I've always liked her portrait of an Uktena. She's not standard cookie cutter.
no.
You know?
She's
She-
so bubbly.
Right. And outgoing
Mhm.
and talkative, and she just pulls you in to her orbit.
Yeah.
It's
and makes
probably
it-
mistaken for another tribe if you don't know any better, too.
Well, yes, but she makes it safe to let down your guard.
You give up
And
your secrets for her.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's her personality. She's not doing that for a bit.
Correct.
You know, that's just how she is. She's open and welcoming and
And I mean, she's confident. She's extremely self-assured.
Yeah.
She knows who she is.
exactly.
And isn't afraid of embracing any facet of that. She's also kind of soft-hearted.
Very.
Very soft-hearted.
But she keeps her secrets.
Yes, she does.
But you don't know that she's not like waving it in your face going, "No, I can't talk to you."
Right. And to the point where how open she is, you would be surprised to know she has secrets.
Exactly.
You wouldn't suspect Shalassi of anything.
It's fair.
But
It's
she's-
very fair.
Right.
But she's disarming,
Yes.
you know? So you feel comfortable talking to her about stuff that you wouldn't necessarily talk to other NPCs about.
Oh, I like that.
It's true. It's exactly how she comes off. She's real. She's very level-headed.
Yeah.
And then I think on the other hand of that, the other side of that, because also a Thurge is the NPC you guys met who quickly gained a place in my heart is Dark Horse.
Oh, God. And we were all like, "Oh, my God, he's evil."
Right.
Yeah,
he was
right off the
the
bat.
We were like, "Nope, we found the bad guy."
Yeah.
he was the right master of the Scepter of the Dancing Heavens,
Yep.
and he wears a horse skull over his face, like as a fucking
Helmet.
Yeah, or a mask, maybe more than a helmet.
Well,
You know,
maybe he needs a
and
helmet.
it's dedicated so as he shifts,
It goes with him.
it goes with him. So he's got this oversized fucking horse skull covering his face, and he talks in like this roving whisper, this quiet echo.
Evil.
Yeah, but all of us were just like,
Oh yeah, you're all
bad
he's
guy.
the villain.
Bad guy. That's the bad guy right there.
It's like it's like quick, rip the horse skull and show us those meddling kids.
It's gonna be Napoleon.
Spied on him a time or two. I had to. I didn't
You know,
trust him.
He's got a name to this. Says, "Ask me about my evil."
Dark horse. I mean, come on. Dark's implied.
But was he?
Not at all.
Nope.
No.
But he's
Completely
just creepy
opposite.
as shit.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's leading a sept that trains Bane tenders specifically.
Yeah.
So he kind
Yeah.
of has to be, yeah.
Well, I don't know if he has to be.
No, but I loved the imagery.
Yeah. Oh, great
Oh no,
imagery.
it worked out perfectly.
But we were all like, pointing, touching our nose, pointing,
With
going,
a skull on his face, you idiot.
"That's the bad guy right there."
The guy that's been in close proximity of the problem.
Who's wearing a horse skull on his face? Bad guy.
Yeah, he has a skull on his. How are we discussing this? The red skull Skeletor,
Yeah, right.
the Grim Reaper, I guess. I
Bad
don't know
guys.
more, but can I be done? Is that enough?
Bad guys all around.
Right?
You know, I mean, how many more examples do you need? Honestly.
You don't see a skull and crossbones fly in the seven seas and go, hey, that guy's here to bring me food and supplies.
Sure, go find out.
Let's get closer. Maybe,
It's not the high seas, AAA.
right?
Okay.
But, I think there's that level, too, where he's just, that mystic in tapping into those darker side of things, as the Uktena can do. You get that creepy fucking character that you guys all looked at and went, he's the devil, and
Bad guy alert.
what
Bad
else
guy.
could it possibly be? And then, you had, Tom as Ghost, you went there and you spied on the guy, and you saw someone who was frustrated and defeated because he couldn't heal the sick.
Yep. Instantly opinion changed on him, but yeah.
And I mean, he thought he was alone talking to one of the fellow welders, one of his closest friends, going, I don't know what to do anymore. Have faith in God. How much more faith can I have? This isn't working. My people are dying, and you want me to sit here and hope? Fuck.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It was a hell of a character.
I liked him. Dark Horse is the shit.
I don't know.
I hope he stays around.
I'm pretty sure he's staying where he's at.
Well, I mean,
We're the ones leaving,
It's true.
I hope we don't have to
Touche.
go back.
right?
no,
like,
no,
I'm good.
I'm just saying I hope he stays in Porter's games. How about that?
I still don't like him.
You still think he's evil?
Yeah, I think he's just playing a long con.
Oh, okay, you're gonna wait 2 crowns.
Oh, is he part of that worm camp?
So you're waiting for Chronicle 6. Ha ha, fooled you?
Yes, yes.
That's what it's called. Spoiler alert.
Just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Huh?
Ha ha ha, fooled you.
Are we on
2.
6 next?
I don't know.
Do we even know?
No.
Nope.
All right, everybody.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap this up. This has been quite enough of this.
This is just nonsense.
It's been
now.
a day.
No, it has been a day. It's been a pretty good day.
It's
Yeah.
been a really good day.
Shockingly, and here's the thing: is we talk about how much fun recording day is, and we don't meet every week. We do a bunch of these, like on a day. As many as we can, or as many as whatever. But it seems to me like we always mention how much fun we have on podcast day,
Yeah.
and so we say it every fucking episode.
I still don't think they know.
Oh.
Well, they'd know better.
Thanks for listening
If
to
they
the
were-
podcast.
They'd know that even more if they signed up for Patreon.
Would they?
Uh,
I mean, do it, but would they?
yeah, probably. I
Get those
mean,
postmortems, and those are a lot of fun.
Oh,
true.
those
Oh
are
my God.
hysterical.
Those are the ones that got me smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's why we're in such a great mood. We start with those.
Yeah.
It's a little more informal, and we don't have to talk about the business or try. We don't have to
There's
show
no research.
Patreon,
There's
Yeah.
no research. It's
No.
literally what we did.
right? And our opinions on it, our thoughts on it, like behind the scenes with it.
Mhm. Highly recommend.
we don't show for Patreon
On
on
Patreon,
the Patreon rewards.
we barely even intro it.
Yeah.
No, we
just
jump right into it.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, everybody, because you know who you are, and thanks for supporting us.
And we
boom.
know who you are.
Yeah, we know who we're sending these to.
So thank all of those Patreons.
Yes, and thank you all for listening. If you want to help support the show, well, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. There are so many ways, and everything you do on that point, we're grateful for.
All of it.
Oh yeah, and stick with us. I know you're gonna anyway. But stick with us next week in particular. There's an episode.
Big stuff happening.
I mean, look, we've been happy with all of these episodes lately. These last run.
It's been a good run.
Yeah.
See, I think season 2 has just been good to us in terms of.
Well, let's knock on
Oh,
some.
Oh yeah, no,
Well, no, we did all that at the beginning of the episode.
yeah, keep that going. But
That stupid curse.
It's one too many times.
Oh, God damn it.
damn it! It's oh no!
Oh, we just lost the whole thing. Got to do it all over again.
Damn it! Take 6.
We've done way too many travels.
But the end is near. It's in
Yeah.
sight.
It is.
I think there's less than a handful left.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not many.
So coming 2023. All right, guys. Thanks again so much for everything that you to support us, for listening. And on behalf of everyone here at Summer Rain Studio, I say have yourselves a great week. We'll see you next time, and keep on howling.